Signed, sealed, delivered? Not quite. Next month's Stevie Wonder concert at UH Manoa is canceled. Canceled! Can you believe it? I'm Keahi Tucker.
And I'm Terry Okita. The R&B legend apparently can't make it. The school is trying to reschedule the concert while offering ticket refunds.
Keoki Kerr is live with the latest on this show shocker, first at 6. Keoki.
Well, Terry and Keahi, privately, UH officials are admitting it looks like they got scammed, and they are worried that UH may be out a $200,000 deposit for this concert. UH athletic officials had hoped the Stevie Wonder concert would raise up to $250,000 for the athletic program. 6,000 people bought seats, and UH expected a sellout of up to 11,000 people. But then yesterday, they got word from Wonder's agent that he was not available for the August 18th concert at the Stan Sheriff Center.
The event was booked by an unauthorized third party without the knowledge or consent of Mr. Wonder's representatives. They were very sorry to have to inform him of his unavailability.
The UH will refund all ticket holders. Those who bought online or by phone will have their credit cards automatically refunded in about 7 days.
Unfortunately, concerts don't happen. I mean, it's becoming more and more of a regularity, and that's what this case is. A concert's not happening. It would have been great if we could have raised some funds out of it, but everybody's going to be refunded, and we'll move on.
The UH is demanding a refund of $200,000 it paid local promoter Bob Payton as a deposit. At Bachman Hall this afternoon, UH Athletic Director Jim Donovan met with UH President Marcy Greenwood and UH Manoa Chancellor Tom Apple. Is UH going to be out of some money because of this?
I hope not. I can't tell you though.
Sources say UH President Greenwood did not know about the concert deal and was upset that it had fallen apart. Sources say someone claiming to be Stevie Wonder's European representative claimed to have booked the deal, but his only agent is Creative Artists Agency in Los Angeles. And I was able to get in touch via email with local promoter Bob Payton late this afternoon. He emailed me to say, quote, any cancellation was done without my agreement. And he also claimed to have sent $50,000 of his own money, along with UH money, to a group called Epic Talent that he said were Stevie Wonder's agents in this matter. So we'll have to see what happens there. And one more final note. Officials here on the UH Manoa campus are wondering if this whole embarrassing episode will be a fireable offense for UH Athletic Director Jim Donovan. His $240,000 a year contract, it's a 5-year contract, expires next March. Reporting live from UH Manoa, Keoki Kerr, Hawaii News Now.
The Stevie Wonder concert debacle may cost Jim Donovan his job. The UH Athletics Director is ordered to pack up a day after canceling the show that never was. Good evening, I'm Terry Okita.
I'm Keahi Tucker. Technically, the school has placed Donovan on an indefinite leave of absence, but we're told he was actually escorted off the property.
And now we've also learned the FBI is investigating the concert fiasco. Keoki Kerr joins us live with the developing story. Keoki.
Well, Terry and Keahi, UH officials say they have indeed contacted the FBI in this case. They're awaiting guidance from the FBI as they try to get back a $200,000 deposit from a Miami talent agency.
You know, unfortunately, concerts don't happen.
The UH placed Athletic Director Jim Donovan and the manager of the Stan Sheriff Center, Rich Sheriff, on paid leave this afternoon. Sources say they okayed the concert deal without the knowledge of UH President Marcy Greenwood.
I am angry and appalled, and this is not going to happen at the University of Hawaii again.
UH Vice President for Student Affairs Rockne Freitas will serve as acting athletic director, and the university is hiring an independent investigator to look into the botched concert.
We're going to do a full investigation of this. It will be done by an external investigator who will look at all of our policies and procedures. Our goal is to strengthen those policies and procedures so that we can better serve our students and the public.
Sources say Associate Athletic Director Carl Clapp signed the contract with a promoter on behalf of Donovan, who was out of town. And sources say UH lawyers reviewed the concert contract and approved its language. Sources also say UH Vice President for Budget and Fiscal Affairs, Howard Toto, authorized the wire transfer of $200,000 to a talent agency in Miami, money the UH is now trying to recover. Now, we called and emailed that company today. Called Epic Talent. They're in Miami. We did not hear back from them. And sources tell us UH officials haven't heard back from them either, which is why they've gone to the FBI. Now, Donovan and Sheriff are going to remain on leave pending the outcome of the investigation. UH also said today that it has processed the refunds for about 95% of those 6,000 tickets that it had already sold to the botched and now canceled Stevie Wonder concert. One more note, I spoke today to the local promoter, Bob Payton, to get his side of the story. He has some very interesting things to say. I'm going to have that side of the story for you exclusively tonight at 6:30 on K5. Reporting live from the UH Manoa campus, Keoki Kerr, Hawaii News Now.
Lots to follow up on. Thanks, Keoki. More now on Jim Donovan and his time in charge at Lower Manoa. Sports Director Chris Tanaka.
It's been an eventful 4 years, to say the least, for Donovan. His tenure as athletics director at UH has been one of many successes off the field, but mixed results in the hiring of some of his biggest names, his coaches. Donovan was named the 18th AD in school history on March 13th, 2008. In his time, he's been a keen negotiator and revenue generator, as evidenced by his deals with K5 and Oceanic Time Warner on the broadcast of UH athletic events. His major coaching selections, mixed bag. Donovan hired and fired former Wahine basketball coach Dana Takahara Diaz after 3 years, replacing her with Laura Beeman. Major men's hires include Gib Arnold, who he gave an extension to after only 1 season, Charlie Wade, who's 41 and 43 after 3 years, and of course Norm Chow, who came to Manoa after Greg McMackin retired with 1 year remaining on his contract. Now, Mack was not a Donovan hire, but his buyout did cost the school $600,000. Donovan is entering the 5th and final year of his contract. UH Vice President Rockne Freitas was named acting athletics director during the investigation. Freitas was instrumental in negotiating the university's move to the Mountain West Conference in football, which begins, of course, this year. Chris Tanaka, Hawaii News Now.
And former athletic director Jim Donovan returned to the University of Hawaii campus today to a new UH job after an internal investigation cleared him of wrongdoing in the failed Stevie Wonder concert. And the UH Manoa chancellor faced questions about why Donovan lost the AD job if he was exonerated. We have team coverage tonight. Keoki Kerr and sports director Chris Tanaka both back from the UH Manoa campus. But first we begin with Keoki Kerr.
And Steph, usually when people are hired for a job, the salary is determined by what their job title and duties will be. But at UH, Jim Donovan is still being paid his athletics director's salary of $240,000 a year and started work on a new job today for which officials still haven't decided on a title. They're still working out exactly what he's going to be doing. We shot this video around 8:45 this morning as Chancellor Tom Apple was showing Donovan around Hawaii Hall on his first day of work at the Chancellor's office. Donovan will work on communications and marketing for the UH Manoa campus in what UH officials describe as a lateral move. But the Chancellor confirmed UH did not offer Donovan an extension of his athletics director job for his contract that expires next March. And listen to how Apple answered this simple question. If the investigation of the failed concert found Donovan committed no wrongdoing, why did he lose his job as athletic director?
Both Jim and I feel that it's time to move forward in new areas. What more does Jim have to accomplish as athletic director when we see these tremendous opportunities moving forward as Manoa reaching out to the community?
I was pleased when I learned from the administration that I've been cleared of any wrongdoing in regards to the concert, both from the FBI investigation and the external investigation. I think everybody here knows I bleed green, and I'm a 2-time graduate of the University of Hawaii. I love UH.
Now, Apple says he is creating a position for Donovan by putting together salaries from a couple of vacant positions in the Chancellor's office. After Donovan's $240,000 a year AD contract expires in March, he'll be paid about $200,000 a year in his new post. And as we have reported previously, UH officials declined Jim Donovan's request to negotiate a contract extension for him way back last year, long before Apple started at UH just last month. Coming up at 6, we're going to hear from some influential politicians who are not happy that Donovan is losing his athletics job. Now here's Sports Director Chris Tanaka with what's next for the athletics department. Chris.
Yeah, Keoki, Chancellor Apple not offering many specifics as to when exactly the search for a new athletics director will begin, but he said it will happen in short order. Chancellor Apple also said he's thinking about a search committee already and will probably employ a search firm in what will be a national search. Apple's target someone who will, quote, take us to the next level, close quote.
Let's face it, we were going to do a national search for the AD position anyway. So, I mean, I think Jim and I see this as a great opportunity. He's done a great job in athletics. This is a chance to do even greater things. We're doing a national search. I mean, Jim could apply.
I look forward to this position going forward, and I'm a team player, and I look forward to being on Chancellor Apple's team.
Acting Athletics Director Rockne Freitas was not in attendance today. Chris Tanaka, Hawaii News Now.
Exclusive new details in the Stevie Wonder concert Blunder. Good evening, I'm Sean Ching.
And I'm Stephanie Lum. If you're wondering what was discussed during the closed-door executive session of the UH Regents meeting, we have the inside scoop. Hawaii News Now broke the story first, and tonight, Keoki Kerr's exclusive investigation into the Stevie Wonder blunder at UH continues first at 5.
Now, sources tell us the Regents spent about 5 hours discussing Jim Donovan's return to the UH and the canceled Stevie Wonder concert yesterday. Sources say the UH Regents received the 57-page investigative report about the failed Stevie Wonder concert on Monday. And after they read it, sources say several Regents wanted to fire Jim Donovan for what they considered dereliction of duty, because the investigation found he provided little oversight of the concert after approving it. But Donovan's lawyer had written the UH this letter, threatening to sue if he wasn't reinstated to his old job, and UH Manoa Chancellor Tom Apple had negotiated this return-to-work agreement, in which Donovan agreed not to sue, and UH agreed to pay $30,000 in Donovan's legal fees.
Jim and I feel that it's time to move forward in new areas.
Sources say Apple apologized to UH Regents behind closed doors yesterday for what he admitted was a terrible performance at this news conference last week, in which he praised Donovan as having done a fantastic job as athletics director, even while Apple was removing him from the job and reassigning him to a PR position. One Regent has told people, quote, if somebody is threatening to sue you, are you going to give them a hug at the end of the day? In public, the Regents chairman said this.
We apologize for the university's handling of this matter and are deeply sorry for the concern and upset it has caused in the community.
Behind closed doors, sources say the Regents talked about different options for Donovan, including whether he should be allowed to remain as athletic director until March when his contract expires. Sources say former UH Manoa Chancellor Virginia Hinshaw asked President Marcy Greenwood for a 5-year contract extension for Donovan, a proposal Greenwood says she and the Regents rejected. Then Hinshaw asked for a 3-year extension, which Greenwood also turned down. And sources say Greenwood offered Donovan a 1-year contract extension just a few weeks before the Stevie Wonder concert was canceled. But Donovan did not agree to that 1-year deal. And sources tell us Chancellor Apple told the Regents he considered retaining Donovan as athletics director, but Apple interviewed people within the athletics department and discovered morale problems there, and also that some of the coaches did not support him. So Apple told the Regents he decided to remove him from that post and create a new communications job in the Chancellor's office for Donovan that pays him about $200,000 a year. Keoki Kerr, Hawaii News Now.
Okay, thank you much, Keoki. Continuing coverage now with a look at how the $200,000 got sent into a mystery account on the mainland. According to the 57-page report, it was either an administrative assistant in the business office or a student worker who filled out the wire transfer form. The report also says a student worker filled out a dummy or pro forma invoice so the dispersing office would process a $200,000 payment. Now, this was done because the university had not received an official invoice from the payee.
Head to our website, hawaiinewsnow.com, to find this entire detailed report on the concert investigation, the effect it's had on the key players involved, and all of Keoki Kerr's investigative reports since he first broke this story. Again, that's at hawaiinewsnow.com.
State senators say they believe the Stevie Wonder blunder has cost taxpayers more than $1 million. And today, the UH Manoa Chancellor told senators why he reassigned athletics director Jim Donovan.
Keoki Kerr has the story.
UH Manoa Chancellor Tom Apple said he received a letter signed by 43 of 44 UH coaches saying they did not want Jim Donovan to return as AD after Donovan had been put on paid leave during the investigation into the failed Stevie Wonder concert. Senators asked Apple why he did not keep Donovan on as athletics director until March of next year, when his $240,000 a year AD contract expires.
My call, I take full responsibility. I did not want to do that because I didn't think it was, quite frankly, I was worried about whether some of our coaches would stay.
Donovan had threatened to sue UH for defamation if he wasn't restored to his old job, and once Apple told him that wouldn't happen, Apple received a letter from Donovan's lawyer that proposed to resolve the lawsuit threat by buying out his AD contract. And that's not all. Donovan's lawyer asked that UH
pay his attorney's fees of $40,000 and give him a 5-year contract as vice chancellor at UH Manoa, reporting to Chancellor Apple at $240,000 per year.
Instead, UH agreed to reassign Donovan to a communications job that will pay him $200,000 a year for 3 years. Regents Vice Chair James Lee later admitted he took the position that Donovan should not get the settlement approved by Apple, but the board did not reverse the decision. Stan Sheriff Center Arena manager Rich Sheriff told senators he was the point man for the Stevie Wonder concert with local promoter Bob Payton, and it was the first show he actually worked on with Payton.
All I was told is that they had checked out Payton and that he had good reviews.
Sheriff said he did not know Payton's troubled financial history that included foreclosure on his Kailua home last fall and a recent Chapter 7 liquidation bankruptcy. Keoki Kerr, Hawaii News Now.
Just who's in charge at UH Manoa? Good evening. I'm Keahi Tucker.
And I'm Stephanie Lum. After a 6-hour special hearing over the failed Stevie Wonder concert, state senators are still not satisfied.
We start our team coverage tonight with Keoki Kerr at the state capitol.
You know, I may not be responsible for how it initiated. I am responsible for how it ends.
UH President Marcy Greenwood told a state Senate committee that the failed Stevie Wonder concert amounted to what she called a perfect storm.
We had employees who were under extreme pressure by outside forces to release the money. They made a mistake in pushing to move the money when they did not have things in place they should have had in place. And I apologize for that, but that is what happened.
But Senate Accountability Committee Chair Donna Mercado Kim said UH is not a small entity or a fly-by-night organization. And officials should have known better than to wire $200,000 away for a concert deposit without confirming the money was being sent to a legitimate agent for the singer.
We're talking about the university that has highly paid attorneys, highly paid staff. We have a whole fiscal department. We have a number of people, and yet there were a number of policies in place that we will get into that were violated. And was not, and it could have been stopped along the way.
And State Senator Sam Sloan listed a litany of bad management decisions at UH, saying he and other taxpayers are frustrated.
McMacken, football coach, overpaid, not taken care of. So that's why there's consideration in this community for what the university is actually going to do to make corrections and whether or not the management of the university is capable of making those corrections.
I would like you to believe that we are. I think we have a long record of doing many, many things correctly.
Greenwood also says she knows more about the criminal investigation and the possible whereabouts of UH's $200,000 missing deposit, but law enforcement officials have told her not to say anything in public because that might harm the criminal case.
After days of controversy over the UH president's $2 million buyout demands, the UH Board of Regents met with her privately today on Maui. The regents met for 3.5 hours behind closed doors at UH's Maui College. The meeting comes in the same week Marcy Greenwood supposedly sent a letter to the regents threatening a lawsuit and asking for $2 million in exchange for her resignation. Sources say she offered to withdraw the letter and asked for a full vote of confidence from the regents instead. Our own Keoki Kerr was in Kahului for today's meeting and tried to get answers from Greenwood as she left.
President, can you tell us why you asked the Board of Regents for a possible $2 million settlement?
Excuse me?
Can you tell us why you withdrew that settlement proposal?
Excuse me.
Do you have anything to say to us, ma'am?
No, I don't have any comment on that.
No.
I can tell you, as far as the public is concerned, that was not a good strategy.
Why?
Why? Because it's too self-serving. And I don't know what the purpose was. Was the purpose to motivate or threaten?
It's unknown what exactly was decided at the meeting. The regents will meet again next month. And our coverage continues online, where you'll find detailed stories and slideshows with all the key players involved. We've also posted Marcy Greenwood's entire demand letter. You'll find it now at hawaiinewsnow.com. We also learned today that former athletics director Jim Donovan, who's up for a job at Cal State Fullerton, would be free to leave UH if he's hired. Despite his recent transfer to a communications position, his contract allows him to go. Donovan's scheduled to interview for the AD position. Answers at last. Good evening, I'm Stephanie Lum.
And I'm Sean Ching. One man from Florida and another from North Carolina have been indicted by the federal government for fraud in the Stevie Wonder blunder. We have team coverage tonight from Keoki Kerr, who has the latest on the indictment, and also from Jim Mendoza, who has reaction from the UH Manoa campus. First at 5, though, we start with Keoki, who broke this story early this morning on our Sunrise program. Keoki.
And Sean, one of the men pleaded guilty to a lesser charge in Honolulu federal court this afternoon, and he is cooperating with federal prosecutors. And it looks like the UH's $200,000 deposit for the failed Stevie Wonder concert is long gone. A federal grand jury indicted 44-year-old Mark Hubbard of North Carolina with wire fraud yesterday. He turned himself into the FBI agents at the federal building in Charlotte, North Carolina at 6:30 this morning, Hawaii time. Another man, Sean Barrero of Miami, who's also 44, was indicted for a lesser fraud charge, and he's cooperating with prosecutors. Now, the FBI says Hubbard got $120,000 of UH's $200,000 deposit for that failed concert and used most of that money to pay business debts.
It appears that the defendants spent the money on personal expenses to pay off business debts soon after it arrived in their bank account. By the time the university became aware of the fraud, there was no cash left to recover.
Now, if convicted, Hubbard faces up to 20 years in prison. Just 2 weeks ago, Hubbard was charged with fraud by authorities in South Carolina, accused of bilking an investor out of $700,000 that was supposed to pay for a series of Alicia Keys concerts that never materialized. Barrero could face up to 10 years in prison. He's free on unsecured bond tonight, meaning he didn't have to put up any cash, and he's agreed to testify against Hubbard. Now, for reaction from the UH, we go to Jim Mendoza, who picks up our team coverage live at the Manoa campus. Jim?
Yeah, thank you, Keoki. University administration issued this written statement earlier today in reaction, and we're going to get to that in just a moment here. But first off, at the U.S. Attorney and FBI press conference today, we asked if UH knew of Mark Hubbard's involvement in the Wonder concert. The FBI says it can't comment on that because UH is a witness, and the information might be in evidence that will be admitted in court. The Bureau called the UH a crime victim. UH seized on that comment today, saying in its statement, law enforcement now confirmed the university was a, quote, victim of a white-collar crime. We asked students for their reaction.
My concern, of course, is that the loss of money from the university and the additional monies that have to be spent, to remedy this. At the same time, I'm appreciative that, somebody is going to investigate.
It just doesn't look good for the people that are running our university. It looks like they're not responsible with our money and, all the money that we pay to go here.
In its statement, UH President Marcy Greenwood says the university looks forward to the criminal justice system proceeding to prosecute those charged. And she trusts this will help the university move past what she called the failed concert episode. Now, former UH athletic director Jim Donovan, who was cleared of wrongdoing in this concert fiasco, did talk to us off camera. And we'll tell you what he has to say in reaction to the news in court today, coming up at 6 o'clock. Reporting live at UH, I'm Jim Mendoza, Hawaii News Now.